That's one thing. I've noticed these new testosterone pills I'm taking from Muscle Tech. Boy, did they put a lot of lead in my pencil. It's like, it's almost enough to, you know what the best was? These things from, they're called Instincts. I could take one of those fucking pills and rip a porn star apart with them. They were fucking just amazing. I love that. It's like fucking just like hard. And I do. It's one of those things I do. I love hard, vigorous, like animal porn star sex. This is like fucking. What's it? What are they? What's that movie? Cage Dates, like Unleashed. Ooh. And it's like I haven't like been laid in eons, like quite a while. Shh, don't tell anyone. But it's just like fuck. That's such a relief. It's like like fuck. It's a nice thing to have too because endorphins are released and so forth. I think it actually helps strengthen the immune system to some degree. Just that I've read somewhere it help to strengthen the immune system. If you just exchange of sweat off each other's bodies or some shit like that. So it's actually kind of builds you up. There's a lot of little avenues to explore in the fucking bigger city, because we have a very English type which I'm very proud of. Right. It's cool stuff to do here. But I was looking over here at all these little antique hats from like, what is it, like 1920s, 1930s. I don't know if they're replicas or antiques, right? They're really nice. Right? They look like something you would see off like one of our great Canadian television shows. It really focuses on like what's that? Not Nancy Drew. What's her fucking name? That's like that. It's like that's some chickies from the 1920s or something that we love to focus on here over here in Canada. That really never kind of left our radar. We're always doing shows with that kind of area. Like we have this one great show called Murdoch Mysteries. I think it's really big in England, but what's her like? There's some Jackie Drake Mysteries or some shit like that. I don't know. Some little chick thing. It's kind of funny. I haven't really watched it, but we do have a lot of wonderful programming here. It's quite the thing. Oh look, the Hare Krishnas are back at it. Shit. Oh, I thought these. Oh, with international teachings and Buddhist monk Gen La Kasnek Karayo. His real name's like Pete Sanders or something. He's a white guy, but I don't know. Well, hey man, he's not hurting no one. What the fuck do I care, man? Hey, not hurting anyone, not forcing shit on me. It's like that's the part of like this Islam thing. It's like, Justin Trudeau. They don't tell you how they're building all these fucking programs and mosques and shit like that. It's like, well, they are doing that, right? So these guys just build their own. These guys build their own temples and stuff like that. You're welcome to come join, blah, blah, blah. They might hand you a pamphlet. But the thing is, like, with Islam, this radical Islam, this kind of sweeping you for Europe and stuff like that, it's like, they're like, oh, I see these signs, oh, love to us. So I was like, no, it's their way or the highway, right? It's like, though the Sharia law, it's just how they go about it. So we kind of have to stand up to them. And the thing with Andrew Schneer is, he says no mass immigration, right? He says that. They all say one thing, right? Justin Trudeau's full of so many empty promises, it's almost as empty as his head. But he says that. But then he's like, this new first-time homebuyers thing in Windbridge. And then if you go on Tenson Road, it's like a big mosque there and all this blah, 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 and all these things there. And then, what would I say? There's people coming over here talking. But then he might, because he wants to really get that oil out of the ground he really wants to get the oil out of the ground, right? It's this big fucking thing. I don't think he really gives a fuck about the rest of us, right? But then he would probably cut a deal with these fucking, OPEC and the Muslim because it's all been one oil fucking thing, right? He let all these fucking Muslims come over into Woodbridge and give them the first part. That's who would help out. That's my theory on him, right? What he would honestly do, right? He's also had said backlashes of things against their homosexual friends. Like, hey, I guess going off for I really I really couldn't care. I really don't want to. I'm not really in support of I don't know what's the fuck the thing is, like that, I don't know, gender reassignment, or whatever, well, not gender reassignment, it's like fucking, like, conversion therapy. I'm not really, it's like, wow, it's kind of inhumane. It's like, you're not really hurting anyone. It's just like, they're just like, fucking each other in the ass and doing their own thing. It's like, as long as you do that, it's like, well, it's both consensual, so who really cares, right? It's like, not really hurting anyone. So, like, what's the problem, buddy? Like, I know he's Catholic and stuff like that. I kind of, lean towards that too, but I just don't really care, right? It's like, I know it says it's the same in the Bible, and I was like, well, just like, really, that's between them and their maker, right? It's like, well, that's for them to decide, right? They're well aware of that. They're told that. It's not for us to judge, right? It's not for us to judge. So I'm not here to. So yeah, like, and like, anywhere they had the whole shock therapy shit in the 50s and stuff like that, that conversion therapy, like, that's just like, it'd just be more of that stuff. It's just like, concentration type camp stuff, and like zip zapping, and like Justin Trudeau, like he already went back, and like idiot that he is, but like he did apologize because they did do a lot of that stuff, like that kind of like zapping and stuff like that in the 50s was quite popular. Like, this was in the time when lobotomies and things like that were all the rage, right? So they were all just doing all kinds of wild, and he had a twinkle in his eye. Usually that's me at like 1 o'clock. Yeah, thanks, guys. Like, I just can't look at it, but I know the twinkle in his eye. Oh, the twinkling. I've seen that many times. Like, oh, whoa, man. I got stars in my eyes. Whoa, oh, whoa. So yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, I'd probably take that job in Sirius XM. I'm just thinking of jib-jabbing, or working on Simple Rusty. I don't know. It's like, Josie, like, one time, baby. I haven't seen you in a long fucking time. One time, like a long fucking time ago, and that was a long time ago. One time she was a beautiful woman. One time she was a very beautiful woman. I don't know, like look, she's like married and has 3 kids. Like, one time, like, that was a long time ago, honey bunny. And as we all know, I like girls with, big silicone implants and whatnot, right? It's like, oh, call me fucking evil, whatever. Try and label me a fucking some chauvinist. That's just who I am. It's just like, it's just like what by conditioning and programming through society's unrealistic norms, like, and then, like, oh, well, then I eat up. I do eat and try and maintain. I try and attain certain goals, right? Like, I haven't, like, well, I've come close to, like, nailing it right in the head. It is a dire thing, but it's like, I do actually make the effort, right? So if I make the effort, I'm expecting some, but yeah, one time, like, I get all these hee ha ha, like, every time I walk. One time she was quite a fine looking woman. She was quite a fucking beautiful woman. But as time rages on and gravity sets in, her body's gone to shit. And she's probably got old and cunty, and she kind of reminds me of my mom. So it's like, for me to do that, it's like, I don't have the Oedipus complex, right? So it's like, my father does, like, whereas me, it's just like, well, there's a certain, like, I don't know, it's just like it's like the quickening with Highlander or something like that. Like, I like a certain, she's a character in her own right, super character in her own right, but it's like, it's just like, it's just like, when that little spark thing between when God touches man and that Da Vinci thing, see kind of God reaching out to man, looking at a little spark in between their fingertips, some kind of electrical current. I just get that sense off. It's like, I can just sense it. It's just like, it's my spidey sense, my character sense. I just get a twinkling. Wow. But I don't really get that anymore. It's just like, at one time I did. It was like, a divining rod that just was going off the hook, but I don't get that anymore at all. Whatever that was, right? That's cold and it died inside a long time ago, right? It's like, it's kind of got like, just remembering that, but like, whatever that feeling was, it's gone, right? Like, died a long, long time ago, right? I guess it died during all this social medication and all that battle with depression and stuff like that, right? And that long thing. Like, like I say, it died a long, long time ago, honey bunny. That's, I don't know what goes on with you in your life or whatever, but like, I've got different agendas and things like that. It's just like, sorry, I can't just turn that on. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's either it's there or it's not. It's like, no, it's gone. How do you do, man? How do you do? It's there or it's not. I don't think it's. I think it's, unfortunately, it's gone. It's just like, somehow I've had all these other doors open. It's like these other gifts and things presented before me. So it's like, right, so more I find other doors of perception have been opened, and I find them more intriguing. And it's kind of like when Johnny Depp is at the end of the 9th gate there, and he's looking down that hall, and he's kind of walking through. It's like, it's like I'm walking through. It's like, I'm almost like through the looking glass now. It's like, it's like, but I wish you well, and all those guys, you and your indie buddies. But I'm not an indie guy, right? I'm a rocker. I'm a hard rocker. Like, not death, like quite death metal. I'm a hard rock and roller guy. I listen to like Motorhead and Aerosmith and shit like that, and you get the general idea of what I listen. Everyone knows what I listen to by now. I don't listen to new stuff, but I'm not an indie guy. For me, indie is like Death Cab for Cutie and stuff. It's just like, it's like, you guys, I don't know, I don't want to be rude, but like, fuck off. That's not what, that's killing rock and roll too. It's like, it's either like, I mean, I like Slayer and stuff like that. Like, actually, I'm surprised they were gonna stop. I can understand what he's saying, and tell me what he was saying, right? Which is cool. I was always afraid I wouldn't be able to understand it. But, either that or it's too like, let's bend our wrists, y'all. Let's bend our wrists again. What can I say? Indie rocks for fags. Right? It is for twingers. But, so like everybody goes, it's like, so does it. I don't really care. It's like, it's me. It's like, I feel the winds of change are starting to fill my sails. So hopefully I'll be going on whatever I'm supposed to do now, right? Where my true destiny, right? Ride those wings of desire to wherever it may take me, right? I feel that kind of getting ready for that soon. So, like, that was a long time ago. That fire, or whatever the hell it was that I did, I kind of died one night and it was screaming at you and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's not even there. It's like, I just don't even care. I just don't even care. It's like, it's nice having a little look down that kind of feeling. It's like, it's not me, man. And then you'll try and guilt me into it. It's like, oh, I don't really care. It's like, I just don't feel it. I think it's whatever that was. It's like it's a void now. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. This doesn't really do it for me. It's like, don't worry. This is not really doing it for me. It's like, one time I thought that would be great, but it's like, that's long gone now, man. That's right. Like, I wouldn't want to be indentured to you in any way, or to be made to feel like if you could use that as a pawn against me, like, some kind of playing card. Because I think you're a fairly liberal type person, which I'm not, right? Just one of those things, like, this black rose is for you. Please collect your things and head to the shores of obscurity. No one gives a fuck about you. Because I think AM FM radio is dead. I never listen to it, right? So, I can listen to anything I want on my iTunes, right? So, Sirius XM is a different story because they have wonderful personalities. Like, that's funny, kind of, if you like talk radio, so which I kind of do, like, because they can go into depth and tell all kinds of fucking stories and wonderful stuff. It's like, right? But the thing is, I guess the only, like, character people we have here, I don't know what they have in, like, where is it? Chicago or Philadelphia or something like that. I wonder what kind of characters they have there. They must have other things, but they have other, like, local people that are beyond radio DJs. I don't know what I am. It's like Superman or something, like the strongest one. Strongest of all the super characters. Like, I can cast off your slings and arrows like they're never there in the first place. Just, I can just brush them aside now. It's like, so I found out, like, I was really constipated all this time, which makes me really upset, right? And then I just don't listen to, I know Neil Strauss has a book that he's done with Kelvin Hart about blocking out the outside noise. I haven't read it yet or had time to, but it's something I'd like to get to someday, right? It's just like blocking out all this other shit, unnecessary crap. I don't know, like, the whole media wants me to do that. It's like, oh, yeah, it's a little girl, like, I don't really, I'm just not feeling it. Like I said, like, that was 8 years ago, man. Like, that would have been the perfect time, right? Like, I was getting ready to move to the city. Then you create all this other unnecessary fucking jazz, blah, 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 right? But you're like Machiavellian ways of feminist control and manipulation and stuff like that. Like, that's no way to behave. It's like, It's like, it's just like, I feel I can do better, right? So, I don't know. I wish you and Joel all the best. I don't know I really don't know what goes on with you. You're quite an enigma. But in the end, it's just like, deep down inside, it's just like, I feel I can do better, right? It's like, it's just like you guys try to keep me down, to hold me down before I realized who I truly was, right? And it's just like I could have so much more and do so much better, right? So, it's just like more. I need something like more to cater to my niches and my likes, right? Like those chicks that dance at the Oasis bar or something like that. Like, that might be more my niche, more my things. Like, I like big silicone, like, large-breasted women and stuff. Like, I love them, man. Like, the whole slim stack kind of things. Like, that's gonna come into things. Like, well, I'll be jumping on that fucking bandwagon and riding that into wherever it takes me, man. Because I love that look, man. It's like, fuck. One more time. I love that. Like, that's me. That's like totally me in that nutshell. I was like, fuck. But as for this kind of like feminist blah blah, nah, man, I love hot. Like, that's like hot, sexy, fucking smoke. Like, what Kurt Cobain was doing was great. What I'm gonna do is like, similar but different, man. I like sexy hot chicks. Like, rock and roll is supposed to be sexy and fun. Like, more. I'd be like more, like they said, like an Axl Rose, I guess, right? Like Lemmy Kilmister or Mick Jagger, or like an Axl Rose, I guess, right? That's I never saw that comparison coming, but like I guess that's what I like, right? I'm very, I can do these wonderful songs and stuff like that it really matters and stuff like that, but I really like beautiful, fucking hot, sexy chicks, right? You just like fucking, like, you'd find it at I don't know, strip club or something. Like, you might find them there, but whatever. I just love that type of chicks, like, And then if I could find one, like, like a Coco, like Coco, like, that I really like, and like what Ice-T's kind of like, fuck, that is fucking awesome, man. you know, who knows, man, you know. But as for like, uh, that would be cool. Like that's like asking for a lot though. Like you know, that's like you know, body of a Coco type, like you know, gorgeous, like you know, uh, adult film industry person, but with a mind that can meet me on the intellectual playing field. Like that's that's hard, right? You know, to mentally stimulate me and turn me on the way I like to be. Like you know, what I find attractive is like wow, that's that's really asking for it. That's really hard, right? Like that's, but it can be done. Like hey, I think Rob Zombie's, you know, like she's not really my cup of tea, but she's along the similar lines though. Rob Zombie and his chick, right? It's like, oh, Rob Zombie's a fairly bright guy. He's good, write some pretty cool tunes, stuff like that. You know, like I think Elvira's actually Elvira. Like she's an old fucking chick now, right? But I think I always thought she was really hot and she's really funny and quick witted and stuff like that, right? You know, like that's smart. Like you to be funny, to be really funny. Yeah, it's a sign of intelligence, right? Because dumb jokes suck, but like really funny jokes are like, you know, you have to think about that too. That right? You know, it's an observation on society and stuff like that, and your fellow man and stuff like that, and like where to push it and where to pull it, right? And you know how far to go and how far not to go, right? But it's really, anyways. You know, I always thought like yeah, she was hot, like Elvira. She was hot, right? Like she had fucking big fucking titties, like you know, for her time. But you know, they'd have to be like quite a lot bigger than that by today's standards to be considered like you know. But you know, she just had that wild, fucking fun, hot personality too, right? She was a cool chick, right? I mean, she's like you know for her time, right? And they tried renewing her show, so you know, but she I guess popped in and out of relevance here and there, and too much, too far. Like she's like 70 some odd years old now, right? But once upon a time, she was a sex symbol and a fucking like a really funny chick. And so, if you'll excuse me, I've missed Louis Noir, but I must um, retire now. I must go. Like you know, and it was a great thing about tonight is, I missed Louis Noir. I missed Louis Noir, but I did not come in contact with any contact cement or anything like that. So that was fun too, right? So, like I said, I don't always have to do that, right? I know that, right? Sometimes I just feel like, the party gets going and it's like it rages on, blah, blah, blah. It's, But you don't always have to do that, no. There's a billion other things you can do without using NyQuil and contact cement, right? There's all kinds of other things you can do. Or like even drinking, like, yes, Mike, but I do like to drink at parties. So, but you're right, I don't have to do that all the time, right? You can have a good time. There's skiing and swimming, go to the cottage, like just there's a billion little things that people are like, I don't know, maybe we've forgotten about that, right? You know, certain other things like simple pleasures, more simple pleasures, like you know, even like Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl likes to barbecue, man. And I love barbecue. Like you know, I won't go to my keto thing, but so, you know, I mean, like I've discovered like you know, once I left all my shithead friends, actually I rediscovered like a lot of things. Like oh, I like to work out, blah blah blah. You know, I like to cook. Like I'm like low on funds right now, so and I really try to like connect all the dots, but. It's hard, right? You know, these dots are all over the place, right? So connect one dot to the next. It's like, But I think like the dots are coming aligned. The planets are coming aligned. I think that was Toddy Boy, and right, you know, maybe, I don't know. We'll see how that one goes, right? We'll play it out. He's a mischievous Keebler elf, right? So he's, you know, he's a Keebler. He's a very mischievous Keebler elf. So we'll see how that goes. But like once I said, like Josie, it's like, you know, honey, I wish you all the best, right? But it's like whatever was there is just like gone there, right? So you know, I see I used to think at one point that would have been awesome, right? Like I would have loved that at one point, but it's like I see so many doors open now. It's just like, well, I think that one that you had is like be closed. So haha, it's like I just like you can't. Like I said, it's like you can't force it. It's like fuck, you know. I wish you all the best, though, honey. But it's like, one time, like you know, you're always trying to like oh, I have Raptors here. So it's like, no, that wouldn't like even like little things like that kind of piss me off because like, it's more like I like to have a chick who has her own things going on, but it's like kind of you're like trying to bribe me. It's like I usually like people for themselves, right? For who they truly are. Like I said, I don't really agree with Jagger Nick's policy. There's a little too socialist and the whole term whatever. But personally as a person, I think he's more genuine than Justin Trudeau, right? I think he's more real. I don't think he's really playing a character. Maxime Bernier, I know that's the real guy, right? What he's like, oh, no. He's real too. Elizabeth May, probably alright, but Justin, what I'm saying? Like, it's like I really, like, personally, I think Jagger seems a real nice guy, right? And I'll be honest with you, like, seems a real, genuine type person, right? But Justin Trudeau is like, fuck, like, that guy's just a pack of fucking lies, right? It's like, I'm Justin Trudeau, and here I am planting trees and fucking, sticking my fingers in dikes and all kinds of shit like that. Like, he's so phony baloney. It's like, I don't know. Hopefully not. Like this Nick Nano's polls. If this thing turns out like it's grossly in proportion to whoever wins this next election, we'll have to get someone beyond the Nano's polls. Hopefully, Nick, that it's all within reason, but I smell some more horse shit. It's like the same guys that kind of fucked the Maxime Bernier thing up in the first place are the same guys fucking around the polls, right? It's like, it's like the liberals and the conservatives, like the real conservatives, like, Maxime Bernier's like, he's like a Donald Trump, man. Like, but he isn't like, we don't know his, but maybe, maybe slept with 1,000 porn stars. I don't care, right? Fuck. It's like, Caligula was apparently a really good emperor, but he, fuck, it's like he slept with a bunch of, so what? So what? So it's a good way, like I said, it's a good way to, like, I remember, I haven't got laid in a long time. It's just like, it's like, fuck. It's like a nice fresh shower. Or, you wake up and have that nice big pooper. It's like, oh, it's like so refreshing. It's like, if you can have a shower and one of those, a fresh dumper in the morning, and then you top it off with coffee, fuck, you've had a good morning right there and then, my friend. But I digress. It's time I return to my, my cryo chamber, so I can get a good night's sleep and look nice and pretty in the morning. Because we all know I do like to look pretty for the camera. Okay? Until then, a bientôt.